How's it going? I'm Jared Gillis. Welcome to another All About RVs. Today, we're going to take a look at two new pieces of technology that just hit the market for RVers. And I think they're kind of good examples where I think there can be some healthy competition for the RV industry in general. So let's take a look at the two things that we're going to be looking at today. The first one is this mini split-esque AC. I know it's mini, it's missing the split, it's not a mini split, but I'll try and explain some of that in just a little bit. But I've been running this quite a bit today off of the solar panel, mostly cloudy today and some sun, and it's kept it powered up. But we're gonna get to what is inside of here. And the other one is this cooler, which is a fridge, freezer, ice maker, so you can have your cold stuff in here. Has a battery pack, so you don't need any wires. You can charge this by solar. You plug it into the wall, you plug it into your car, so you can use this in a lot of different areas. But let's get into it. So first off, I want to be honest with you because EcoFlow did send these to me. They didn't pay me for a review. They didn't tell me what to say. These are just my thoughts on these products. But at first, when they emailed me and asked if I wanted to test these out, I initially said no. I was going to pass on them because I think they fit just a niche of the RVing market. But then there was just a couple of things that changed my mind. Number one, I saw a lot of RVers were actually interested in these for RVing. And so I thought, if I was able to do a quick review and give my thoughts on it, it might help some people out there be able to make a decision whether this is going to be a good fit for them or if it isn't. And number two, I see these as innovative accessories that I think will help bring healthy competition to the RVing market. So let's dive in and check them out. So let's start with the Glacier. This is their fridge, freezer, ice maker combo. So it's not the first one out there that is a fridge, freezer that you can use inside the RV that you can go and plug into your vehicle and take wherever you want, but it is one of the first ones that has an ice maker built right into it. An ice maker is something that we have enjoyed for a long time, but this one has it built right into this pretty small unit, considering that it also makes ice. Okay, so I thought it might be helpful if I look at this from both sides of the coin of something that's just easy and low tech compared to getting something like this. I think that's gonna help flesh out who might be interested in something like this and who it might be a really good fit for. So you might be somebody that says, instead of getting something like this and spending your money on it, you can just get an ice chest, put ice in it, and keep cold whatever you want in there. When your ice melts, you just put more ice in. It's a really low tech, solid way to go that saves you money in the long run. Just as a side note, I do think that is a worthwhile point to be made because usually when newer technology comes out, it does come at a higher price. And while the majority of this video is going to be talking about the technology that's impressive that's packed into each of those, because that's the focus of the video, they do come at a higher price. There are promotions being run right now since they've just been launched. There'll be links down in the description to all of that. But I do think it's worth mentioning that that's worth weighing out, the cost and does it fit what you're looking for. So they still are a high price item, but there is a lot of technology and innovative things packed into each of these. So on the flip side of that coin, in contrast to that, somebody that might be interested in this for RVing might want something that's a little bit more sustainable, which ice chest might be fine for going out for a weekend. If you want to have something that's going to last a little bit longer, you're not going to have to continually fill up with ice, this might fit that bill. And being able to have a fridge and a freezer in there might be very beneficial. A lot of people will complain about having not hard ice cream on the inside of an absorption refrigerator. Well, you can have ice cream in here and it's going to be hard because you can have that fridge and freezer side of things and it can get down to temperature properly. The other thing that's nice about this is it's pretty energy efficient. It's not a huge energy hog to be able to run this inside of the RV. So I can see this as having like a secondary fridge on a larger RV or even a teardrop trailer. A lot of times they'll use something like this that's on a slider so it can slide out. That's your fridge, your freezer, and now you can have an ice maker in that. So many people RVing love having the ice maker, but having one that's all in one unit, especially if you're looking at those teardrop trailers, usually space is at a premium. So all in one, that could come in really handy. The other benefit that I could see of somebody wanting something like this is if they want it to be mobile so they can use it in multiple different situations. You could use it at a sporting event. You could use it at the beach. You could use it at the RV, at the campground, at the house. There's a lot of situations where you can just pick this up and move it. It almost feels like a little bit of a magic trick because it has a battery inside there. Like you should have the magic trick hoops where you're showing that there's no wires attached attached to your magic trick. They are a battery company, so being able to operate this off of a battery and then having the flexibility to operate it off of solar, plug it into the wall, plug it into your car, just that flexibility of where you can use it. I could see where people would like something like that because then you could use it in so many different situations. So even right now, I do have it on, even though it's not connected to anything, the battery's operating it. I do have some ice cream in there, and I'm not worried about it thawing out. If it was an ice chest, you couldn't keep ice cream in there without having dry ice or something like that. So this does fit a niche and very innovative, I think, in an area where you might want a fridge, freezer, and an ice maker with the flexibility of how to power a unit like this. So now let's take a look at the Wave 2. This is their version 2, and they've stepped it up across the board on everything. So it is now a heater also. So they added that function into it. It's a heat pump. So in the summertime, you have air conditioning. In the wintertime, or if it's cold outside, you have the ability to heat. So it's nice to be able to have kind of two functions in one unit. And I do think that the RV industry needs to be paying attention to this. But for us personally, I struggle a little bit with where we would use it with us in our RV setup, just because our RV is so big. This does work if you want to use it like on a small room, maybe take the edge off or be able to cool down a room at night. So this will definitely do our master bedroom in our RV, but it can't do our entire RV. While I am getting a little bit more performance out of this than I did on the first Wave, just because all the specs bump up on this one, it's still going to be kind of a similar size type of a room, similar size type of an RV, Class B, teardrop trailer, small room, that you're going to be able to use something like this in for an RV. But I think the one thing that the RV industry really needs to pay attention to on this is they're putting an inverter compressor inside of there, and that's what makes this thing so much more efficient. It's better for a couple of reasons. It's going to be way more efficient, so you're going to be able to use it when you're out there boondocking. Of course, when you first turn on the AC and it's bringing it down to temperature, it's still going to be consuming a decent amount of power. But the thing about inverter compressors is they're able to dial it down. So when you don't need as much cooling capacity, it's not going to draw as much power, and that's what makes one of the things that makes them so much more energy efficient. Okay, so this is a perfect example. We have this running on max right now. So from the battery, it's pulling 390 to 410 watts out of that to make that run. If we switch it over to eco, a couple of things are going to happen. Obviously, we hear the blower fans slowing down, but the inverter compressor on the inside is also variable speed. So it's not just an off and an on, it can go and supply just exactly what you need, like a mini split inverter compressor does also. That's one of the things that makes them more energy efficient. So now that we can see that we're drawing around 160, 170, maybe 200 watts in order for it to operate at that temperature and maintain the temperature that it needs to. The other thing that a variable speed inverter compressor will do is it's able to ramp up. So we often will put micro air easy starts or soft starts on our ACs so that if you're running it on a generator, it can start it up because it takes a tremendous amount of power to get that compressor going. With a variable speed compressor, it's able to ramp up. You don't have that same heavy hitting appliance needing that power in the beginning. So it kind of gives you two benefits all in one. So I definitely think the RV industry needs to pay attention that there is a company out there putting higher technology in their AC portable units than we have on the top of our RV ACs. But they did pack a lot of other features inside of this AC unit. They made this one quieter than the first one. The first one was pretty noisy. This one is quieter. Okay, this will give you an idea of sound. This is running on max high currently. The Wave 2 on high is definitely quieter than the original one, and this is now switching it over to eco. You can see if you had it on eco or if you had it on the sleep mode, it would definitely be a lot quieter, but that gives you an idea of what the sound is like coming out of this. Now we can just kind of go around this thing and you can see the different features that are packed into it in case you're interested in a portable AC unit. You have the display on top. I think they made an improvement over the last one. Easy to be able to change the modes and the settings. You have your power options on the side. We're obviously connected to the battery at this time. You can plug it into the wall. You can plug this into solar. I had a 400 watt solar panel plugged into this, and on eco mode, it was having no problems going for a very long time. Even on max, I had this in our project trailer going for a long time testing it out, and it was just running it for hours and hours on end. You have the ability to be able to charge up your phone if you wanted to off the battery bank that is on here, and then they still have those attachments, so if you wanted to set it up in different scenarios, you have the option to do that. So you have the ability to put the attachment on the front and have the hose. Maybe you wanted to port that into a tent or something like that, or maybe you wanted to have this on the inside so you can make those connections on the top and the back, so that way you can use this as a portable AC unit and have that heat exhausted to the outside. So this may not be for everybody, but I think if you were somebody that had 3 different scenarios where you wanted to use this in 3 different spots where you needed heating or cooling, I think something like this could fit that. I just wanted to be clear, I wouldn't try and cool down an entire large RV. It's just not going to be sized for that. It might take the edge off. But using it in a small RV or a room, it's gonna work well. So I think that's gonna do it. Looking at a couple of different products today: fridge, freezer, ice maker, a new Wave 2, we have bigger battery, more cooling capacity, more features packed into one unit. I hope kind of looking at these, it'll help you decide if that's going to be a good fit for you or if it's something you needed to pass on. So like I said, if you're interested in either of these 2 products, there's going to be links down in the descriptions to the products and to the discounts that they have going at this time. So like I said, that's going to do it for today. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos about RVing, hit that subscribe button. If we don't see you on the road, hopefully we will see you next video.